Sezno. It is the 7th of January, 2026. A couple hours ago, a woman in Minneapolis was shot dead by an ICE agent. I'm sure everybody will know about it by the time this comes out. I feel fucking terrible. Kind of try to stay focused, but I've sort of given up for today. I'm sure there are a lot of people out there who kind of did the same thing upon hearing this news. I'm appalled, I'm enraged, and I also feel numb, you know? I just thought I would set the camera up and just kind of like rant. Maybe this is intended as like a safe place to like air it out, you know? I guess my prevailing sentiment right now is just like disillusionment, darkness. I mean, and yeah, maybe like hopelessness is like not too strong of a word. Presumably most of you watching this are from the US. I salute you, those who are in the US and those who aren't, you know, thank you for being here. I'm sure like if you are clicking on this video, you're probably feeling similar to me, like what the fuck is going on? This is like a bad place. This is not a recent revelation or anything. I'm so tired of just being like appalled all the time. I think it's deeper than just like political affiliation or kind of more surface level things like that. It's a deeper like reticence and disillusionment with like humanity. I don't know why I laughed at that. I feel like the world around me has produced a situation in which I am increasingly scared to just like be myself. I'm gonna try to explain what that means, and you know, if anybody feels like this, like please tell me. I'm in my mid-20s, and I think I have my head on straight, you know? I really do think I'm an optimist, but I'm in a weird conundrum right now where I feel like I have more faith in myself than ever in terms of my ability to utilize my strengths and confront my weaknesses by working on them. But on the flip side, I have less and less faith in the world at large in terms of the realism and the safety associated with my potential. And frankly, the potential of a lot of people that I've met in my life who are similar to me. Creatives, artists, sensitive, empathetic people who are maybe not the traditional like capitalist creatures, shall we say. But it's been really scary to kind of go through my teens and early 20s and now mid-20s and slowly recognize that the world is like not what I thought it was and not what I was somehow or other led to believe that it was, and that it's not getting better. I think like people are not getting smarter and they're not getting nicer. And honestly, maybe I'm just like naive as fuck, but I find that really disturbing. And I feel like it all the time because like I'm so fucking appalled all the time by like what I hear is happening here and elsewhere. Obviously, like, you know, I try to stay aware and stuff, but it's really, really hard to just like be hearing about what's happening all the time because none of it is good, dude. None of it is good. People outside the US who are watching this, I mean, you probably think about this shit like, oh, what the fuck is going on over there? My Japanese relatives have been feeling like that for, you know, nigh a decade. I hear about all this crazy shit that's happening, this awful, awful stuff that's happening. People getting murdered on the street, fascism, totalitarianism, late-stage capitalism, post-truth. And I think about the things that I'm doing, you know, setting up these like iPhone videos where I talk about music for a very small audience, where I make some tracks. And I go like, bro, is there like, am I like stupid for doing this? Is there a point to doing any of this? Not to say that like I want to give up or whatever, but I do often like I have to confront this thing of like, do I bring any value whatsoever? And is that situation going to get realistically better in the next 10 years, in the next 20 years? Like I'm only gonna have like youthful energy for so long. Every year, like it gets harder to be an artist. It gets harder to be a creator. it gets harder to be somebody who is not like useful in like the quote unquote like American capitalist career sense. It feels like the possibilities for the life that I envision myself are like diminishing year after year, and that it's like it's not my doing at all. It's not any of our doing. Like it's just like it's like this place is just like run by insane people who have no empathy and hatred in their heart, and increasingly we're in the world and we're just like not allowed to be ourselves. I don't know whether this is a Gen Z 2020s specific problem, but this is the only thing that I have to go off of. Like I've seen this before, like with the generation of my parents, for instance. A lot of them are unaware of like the financial pressures that a lot of us are under. The economy that they had when they were in their 20s is not what exists now for us in our 20s. And the job markets and the what achieving the quote unquote American dream even means. You know, for anybody who's watching this who's like older, is this like a canon event, as we say? When you're in your 20s of like just you look around the world one day and like your youthful optimism is just gone, and that maybe like the world actually is just like ugly, and that the history of humanity is largely just a history of atrocities and like unjust things happening all the time. All that to say, like, I'm struggling today with how I fit into all this. Are we really all just at the whim of like people who will punish us because we don't agree with them? If you're watching this, like presumably like you're more like me than you're like them, is what I'm guessing. Like, how do you feel about it? How do you get through this? Like, what the fuck is gonna happen? I guess I'm just numb and I'm just like confused. And I'm not going to give up or like give in to despair, because like I feel often that like that's what they want, you know? I feel like they want us to be living in fear. But just like hate took somebody today, another person today. I don't feel safe here. It feels like all the rules are like they're gone. I mean, anything goes. And I think about creative people that I admire who have lived through shit like this. Part of this is that this should be a celebratory day. I just sent off my first EP to distribution this morning. I sent it off. It's done, and I'm really excited about it. This week has been a crazy week. My TikTok videos have been popping off. I'm suddenly getting streamed. There's rumblings in the earth. We're a week into the year, and it's like, it feels different. Something's happening. And then I learned about Minneapolis, and it was just deflated. It was like, damn, like, but all of this would be pointless if I was shot in the street by a fascist who couldn't care less that I was a living, breathing person with goals and a desire to just string those little victories together and try to build a life, you know? Be the best version of myself. Now, we live in a fascist state here where you are punished for being yourself. It's the exact opposite of everything we were led to believe this is supposed to be. Dude, it is hard to think about that. It's hard to consider that. It's hard to just like shrug that off. I've already feel like I've been fighting so many demons within myself. But every time I look around at the bigger picture outside of me, it's gonna get a lot harder before it gets easier, and it very well may never get easier. And a part of me is horrified. I'm not giving up, and none of you should either. They can't take our faith away from us, but I don't know if I recognize this world anymore, and I don't know if I recognize myself within it. I'm like, dude, like I'm like too good to be true almost. I'm just joking. Anyways, I've vented in this, so feel free to do so as well in the comments. I love you all.